What's up guys, welcome to a new video where we're going to be discussing a very powerful 1-minute strategy using the footprint chart and order flow. Before I get into the video, be sure to follow my Twitter as I'm posting free daily information and you do not want to miss out on it. So this strategy consists of taking advantage of thin prints and exhaustion prints in the market in combination with looking at imbalances and delta traps. Now the first thing in the setup that we need to see is a delta trap. Now I don't typically need to see the negative delta coming directly after the huge positive. In this case right here, we do see this huge positive delta that could not push price forward. You can see as we got the positive delta, what happened? A red candle showed up, showing that there might be exhaustion in buyers, and these buyers may be getting trapped. Now what I want to see directly after that is a exhaustion print coming to the market with a thin print and that positive delta getting trapped. Now I need to see a 2 candle play. If say this candle had a exhaustion print with a thin print, typically I would look to not take that play unless directly after there was a candle with another thin print or exhaustion print or bearish point of control. But you can see that in this candle we had multiple imbalances. This candle we had multiple red selling imbalances, and then we got the exhaustion print with the thin print and a value area gap down, which made this play valid. Now in a play like this, when there's a bar that's 5 points, typically I would look to put it, since it's a 2-bar play, right, I'm looking for back-to-back red candles, I would typically put it above this candle, but since it's a 7.5 point stop, I like keeping my stop between 4 to 5 points, and this candle right here is about 5 points, so I would place it right above it for 5 points. And I would target, if there's untested thin prints below, I will target these as the target. But if there isn't any below, or let's say it's 20 points away, I would just go for a 1-to-1 RR. But in this scenario, there is thin prints in that are untested, so you would target that for 5.75 points, which is pretty much a 1-to-1. Now directly after, there was another play that showed up. We have untested thin prints that were going to be used to look at support, and when we went down to test it, we got a green candle with a thin print, and you can see that we have huge negative delta that couldn't push further down. Let's say there was only like 200 negative delta right here, I probably wouldn't look to take this play, because it was negative 600. That's a good amount of negative delta. And then right, we wouldn't take a long, I personally wouldn't take a long directly on this candle right here. What I would look to do is to wait for the candle one after, and you can see on this candle we got multiple buying imbalances, a value area gap, we got huge positive delta, we got the exhaustion print, and we got double thin prints. And you would look to take a long, in this scenario you would put it under here since it's only 4 points, so a 4-point stop, and we don't have any untested thin prints until all the way up here, so I would typically just go for a 1-to-1 R, and that would probably hit right here. Alright, so I just, and obviously went for more points. Now this play right here, I wouldn't consider it the most high quality, because typically I would like to see an exhaustion print on this play, or a bearish ratio, or a bearish POC. I don't want to take a play just with an exhaustion print and thin print, but this is a, I would say like a 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 play. Right, this play right here, I would say this is about a 9 out of 10. And then this play right here is another 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 play. Very high quality, right? We get 1900 positive delta that couldn't push further up. And after we got that 1900 positive delta that couldn't push further up, what came in? 1, exhaustion print. 2, bearish POC, another exhaustion print. But, right, I wouldn't take a play just based off of these 3 candles right here. I'm looking for a thin print to come into the market. That's the most important thing, is a thin print. And where do we get the thin print? We get it right here. Right, so this would be our entry, and you can see that this negative delta is trapping this positive delta right here. Right, price couldn't make a further push up, and so what we're doing on this 1-minute chart is we're combining a delta trap with strong confluences on the footprint chart. And so typically on this play, it's about a 6.75 stop. I typically wouldn't go for that. I'd probably put about a 4.5 point stop on this, and I would target this untested thin print right here. We have untested thin prints right here. That would be our target. You'd probably get filled around right here, and you would be able to go for around 6.5 points. So very good. That's a super high quality play right there. So this was all in one day, and typically I'm only looking to take one play a day, but if I win that one play a day, I'll go in half size on a second play. From what I've noticed, if the first play of the day, first high quality play of the day is a loser, you're not going to get many high quality plays a day, and you should just take the L and move on. But if you get a high quality play and it works out, you can look to take another play. But because you're doing a 1-to-1 or RR on most of these plays, you should size down, maybe do half position size, and take another play, right? If you win, you can look to take another. If you lose, you're done for the day, and you'll still be green. Right, so here's another very good quality play. You can see all the way, right, this is where I was talking about, where you don't need to see a delta trap directly candle after candle. You can see that we have this area of consolidation right here, and we have huge positive delta on this candle right here that couldn't make a further push of price up. What I typically want to see is for the bearish confluences to come in now. You can see that we start getting some ratios right here with exhaustion prints, and then after we see these ratios with exhaustion prints, we get thin prints right here. These are good confluences. Now you could have taken a short on this play right here, put your stop about 4 points, and you could have got the 1-to-1 RR, right? It went about 8 points from there. When I went to go take this play, I entered on this candle right here. I put my stop above there for 5.5 points. I actually didn't get filled on this play because it quickly shot down, but you can see that we got the thin prints trapping this positive delta. Then we got a bearish ratio, exhaustion print, thin print, right? And then I would have entered on here. I didn't get filled, but then it went for 6.75 points, right? So the 1-to-1 RR would have hit. And then directly after this, there's a long setup that showed up, right? We have huge negative delta getting built down here, negative 500, negative 590, that couldn't make a push lower. And then what happens? We get exhaustion prints directly after a market sweep came in, right? A market sweep is pretty much multiple thin prints in one candle, 3 to 4 thin prints or more. And so the entry was off of this candle right here, stop below candle 1. This is candle 1 because that's where the first initial setup started getting worked on. So your stop would be 5 points, and you do have a target of thin prints up here, and you could have targeted 11 points. If you don't feel comfortable going after that 11 points, just go for a 1-to-1 RR of 5 points. Like I said, what you're looking for is delta that couldn't make a price continuation. Then you're looking for a thin print along with an exhaustion print. Extra confluences can be a bullish or bearish POC. Another confluence can be ratios. Another confluence can be multiple imbalances. And a final good confluence is a value area gap. Now I want to go over what each of the features mean. So a thin print in itself, right, you can see these golden outlines right here are when thin prints come into the market. A thin print happens when in the middle body of the candle, right, not at the top, not at the bottom, there is a zero, an imbalance left behind on the candle. Why would this happen? Well, there may be a lot of market participants in agreement, and they hit above the ask because they want to get into a buy into the market, and so that would sweep up a bunch of liquidity and sweep through a level, leaving behind that imbalance. Or scenario 2, there may be a large market participant sweeping up a bunch of contracts, and it sweeps through a level, leaving behind that imbalance, and that can be towards the sell side or the buy side. And so typically they're used as continuation confluences, but you can also use them later on as they get retested as support or resistance. Now, exhaustion prints are what happens at the bottom or top of the candle. On a green candle, you're looking at to happen at the bottom bid. And now typically you want to see below 9 contracts on this, but the lower the better. And when it happens on a green candle, that shows seller weakness. When it happens on a red candle, for example down here, you want to see at the top ask, and that shows weakness in buyers. Now, multiple imbalances, I'm sure many of you watching this video know what imbalances are, right? It's when the ask outweighs the bid on a green candle by 300% or more, or you can adjust that setting. And then a red candle, if there's an imbalance from the bid to the ask by 300% or more, that would be a sell side imbalance. And so the next feature is ratios, which were created by Mike Valtos. He created this mathematical equation by taking on a red candle the ask side, and he takes the second to top ask and he divides it by the top ask, right? So 133 divided by 29 would give you the ratio of 4.59. And then so on a green candle, you would take the second to bottom bid divided by the bottom bid, and that will give you your ratio of 0.003. Now in the ES markets, from what I've studied, 28 and above on a red candle is bearish. Anything below 0.7 on a green candle is bullish, but depending on the markets, that would have to be adjusted. From my studies on NQ, anything below 0.7 can be bullish or bearish, just depending on the color of the candle. But today we're talking about ES specifically. Now, a bullish or bearish POC is probably one of the weaker signs that we're going to be talking about today. Anything when the POC is at the bottom 3 ticks of a green candle, that would be considered a bullish POC. And then for a red candle, when it's at the top 3 ticks of a red candle, that would be considered a bearish POC. And then delta, the difference between the bid and the ask, and it will take all the contracts and give you a delta number, and so we can tell the amount of strength in sellers or buyers based on that number. The way I use it, like I said, is based on the traps, looking for where price couldn't continue after an extreme amount of delta. So there's one more thing, the value areas, where 68% of the volume is being transacted on a candle. And so when there's a value area gaps, you're able to tell that there may be a continuation in price, as that shows aggression in volume towards a side. And so we can just go over a few more examples so you guys can get a better understanding. I just have a couple days loaded on my chart. I'm not cherry picking any data, I'm literally just going through the last few days. You can see right here, we do get a retest of the thin print, and then we get an exhaustion print. I know some people may take a long on this. Personally, my strategy doesn't consist of that. I don't like taking a long just because we're retesting and then we get an exhaustion print. I like looking for that extra confluence, right? There is a thin print right here following it. We don't see anything super bearish. We don't get a bearish ratio. We don't get multiple imbalances. We don't get a bearish or bullish POC. So I probably wouldn't take anything there. On this play, I wouldn't have to take anything because there's no exhaustion print. I must see that exhaustion print. Let's see if we can find a good play. Here's a good play right here. You can see that this huge positive delta couldn't make a push up. 1000 positive delta with thin prints and exhaustion print. This example right here is why I don't take a play just based off one candle. I want to see back-to-back good confluence candles. You can see there's nothing in this candle to take a long on, so I wouldn't have taken that play. But now look what happens directly after that. We get an exhaustion print, we get a bearish ratio, and we get a thin print coming in, trapping that positive delta. And then on the following candle, you get this huge value area gap down. You get another bearish POC, another bearish ratio. You get another exhaustion print. You would enter right here, probably put your stop above there because it would be like 10 points putting it above there. So a 4-point stop, and you can target a 1-to-1 RR because there's no untested thin prints down below, and your 1-to-1 RR would have most definitely hit, as the play went about 6 points. And then directly after that, I actually remember taking this play. You get this negative 800 delta trying to push price down. It couldn't make a push price down. You get a bullish bullish ratio followed by exhaustion print, thin print, exhaustion print, thin prints, multiple buy imbalances, right? There isn't huge positive delta, but we don't need to see that because we have these vastly great bullish confluences trapping this negative delta. So I entered on the retest of this thin print right here. Typically I would take it on the close, but price immediately shot down and I was able to get filled right around this thin print. My stop was below here for about 5 points, and we targeted this. Well, I actually had 2 TPs. First we targeted a 1-to-1 RR, and then that hit, and then my second con got stop break even. This negative this other thin print never got hit. What actually made this play get stop break even was we got a thin print followed by the exhaustion print, right? And that one went for a lot more points. Unfortunately, I did not catch that one. But hopefully that's enough examples for you guys to understand. Right? I know many of you like using time charts. These setups have been showing up every single day. You can look for, like I said, 1 play a day will do you more than just enough. And yeah, make sure you do your back testing, you do your forward testing. Make sure you get used to this strategy. Make sure you're staying disciplined. Don't just take a play just because there's a thin print. Make sure you're waiting for the full setup, as they will show up throughout the day. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.